Hello, welcome to the All or Nothing podcast. Our official sponsors are KR Couriers and Transport Limited. Hello everyone, hope we're all good. Big shout out to everyone who likes, shares, comments and subscribes to the All or Nothing podcast with myself, Billy Moore. I'm going to introduce you to Albie, young Albie. Now Albie's got, a story like anyone else out there. And this is what it's about, real people with real stories. But I'll let him tell you himself. Hello Albie.
Alright Bill, how are you?
Okay, so we were talking about what it was like for you growing up and the problems that you've come up against in life. You're a young man.
Yeah.
You've been in and out of prison. You're addicted to drugs.
Yeah.
And crack was one that brought you to your knees.
Really good Bill.
So tell us a little bit about where it all went wrong and what was going on for you.
In my life, Bill, yeah, I was grafting obviously all kinds of drugs, but I wasn't grafting any serious drugs then, you know what I mean, Bill? It was a bit of smoke or whatever like that, you know what I mean, running around and doing a bit of this and doing a bit of that. So I got introduced, no names mentioned obviously, Bill. We all know who they are, but there's no names to be mentioned. And I started selling crack and smack, crack cocaine and heroin, you know what I mean.
Did you become your own best customer?
On the crack cocaine, yeah, because I never touched the heroin, Bill. Never bothered with the heroin ever. I sold it. It was quite a sad time in my life, to tell you the truth, Bill. Very, very sad, when I look back at it now, and I think to myself, what was I doing? What the hell was I doing at the time, Smoking crack cocaine at a young age, you know what I mean? I've showed you the picture what I looked like, Bill. I was a very young kid. My eyes were bulging out my head, you know what I mean? And I was up to all sorts at the time, Bill.
Can we have a look at that picture?
Yeah.
You look terrible there, lad. You're only young as well.
Young man.
In your early 20s by the look of it. Right, so it was a very sad time of your life. So, I know personally, I've been on the receiving end of drug dealers, I've been on the receiving end of drugs. I've actually tried to sell them myself, like I said. I was my own best customer. And it's all about, it was never for me financial gain. What about yourself, was it?
Financial gain, because I wasn't on crack for a big period of my life, Bill. It was just a short period when I smoked it, It was in front of me and, I did get a bit of a taste for it. You know yourself, Bill, what happens and what goes on about with it, so. But
and how
the financial gain was lovely, though. You think you're sick, you've got these brand new 110s, you've got the best tracksuit, you've got the best rab jacket, you've got a nice bike, you know what I mean, where some smackheads most probably gone out of town and grafted it, brought it to you for a couple of bits. Some sorry cunts back at home, Bill, thinking, where the fuck's my bike? And then you're driving around there. You just think you're the boy. You can do whatever you want because you've got the money to do it, Bill, while you're selling it. You know what I mean?
That's a term that gets thrown about, smackhead, isn't it? Like, it's quite derogatory, I think.
Yeah.
Because I've been called it a few times. I still get called it. You know what I mean? Even now that I'm clean, but
I don't think many people have ever called me a crackhead, Bill, to tell you the truth. But I think under people's breath, they most probably said, "Look at that dirty crackhead from back in the day," or whatever.
And how did you think that made you feel?
Now, personally, Bill, I look back at it and it was upsetting at the time, and obviously for my family it was very upsetting, you know what I mean, Bill? Because I was round the roundabout, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's no point beating around the bush and saying, it was the best time, I was partying or whatever like that. Because it was a sad time. It was a sad time.
Here's a question, how did you feel, how do you feel now, right, about the people you were selling drugs to?
It's a bit of a hard one, Bill, but I do look back now and I walk through Chester and I see the same people. I'm not saying every single person's still there, because some are passed away, some are in jail, some are moved to different towns, some are in recovery, Bill, still, which is absolutely amazing for them, and I wish them all the best. But at the time, I didn't give two. You don't like to swear?
Well, you have some already.
Yeah, sorry. I didn't give two fucks about them at the time. But looking, when I go through now and I see them and they're begging and they're busking in town and they're doing all sorts, they're up to all sorts, It's, the drugs take you to all places, so.
It's sad, isn't it?
It's very, very sad. And when you see them and, like I said, I never ever touched heroin in my life, but when they used to be ringing me and they used to be shouting me at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I used to think, you dirty smackhead, you're just rattling, you know what I mean? But when you look at the bigger picture, it's like petrol for them. They need it to run in life, Bill, you know what I mean? You know the script yourself, so I don't need to explain it to you, so.
Yeah, no, and you know, I appreciate your honesty. Okay, so you hit the nail on the head there when you said, like, it's like petrol, right? You need it. You know, it's like we live to use and use to live. Very simply, an addict is a man or a woman whose life is controlled by drugs. We are people in the grip of a continuing and progressive illness whose ends are always the same: jails, institutions, and death, right? That's the be-all and end-all of addiction, right? We live to use. So when you see someone out there and, you know, they're desperate, you know, and if people can just throw that crackhead, smackhead. Now, I kind of like frown upon that because I see them as poor spirited souls.
Right, okay.
Because I was once that person. I was doing things that I didn't want to do. I was finding myself in places that I didn't want to be. You know, and then I'd sit in my little room or wherever it was, and I'd feel terrible and feel guilt and I'd feel shame. You know, and all those feelings would surface, and I knew it was wrong, but I couldn't fucking stop using for the life of me. You know. So what's your life like now, Cole? You know, the crack took you to your knees.
It took me, you know, like I said, I wasn't on it for a big period. Never bothered with the heroin. I was just on it, you know, for a short period. Thank very much, you know what I mean, to myself and to the people, obviously, to some of my family members. So
what is it you do today that gives you like a little bit of discipline and routine
nowadays,
in your life?
I'm not gonna lie, Bill. Yeah, when I done that big sentence in 2014, it's not a big sentence because it's only 4.5 years, do half of it, and then I went back in 2019 and done a sentence there. And jail has disciplined me, honestly, it has.
You've been involved in conspiracies with Scousers as well from the South End. You know, you mentioned that earlier on. Mentioned no names. That put you inside for a few years. You've come out.
27 months, Bill. That put me in.
You've come out, and then you've been nicked again in Warrington.
Got nicked in Warrington 2019.
Ecstasy tablets.
Ecstasy tablets, yeah. I got nicked.
And that was just bad luck because your mate had a fight
with someone, and he's ended up knowing where Warrington is. I'm not going to mention no names again or anything, but yeah, he's ended up getting off, and the security got me. The police got me. And I'll tell you the story if you don't mind, Bill, what happened. Because I got nicked for it, I went to jail for it, so my mates had a fight, put this fella to the floor. Next minute, boom, he's got off, security grabbed me, rang the police have come round. Boom, fella's got up, moving my mates it. It wasn't him, no problem. I'm in the back of the riot van now with the handcuffs on thinking, fucking hell, I've got 41 ecstasy tablets down. I took 50 out, I sold 9, I've got 41 ecstasy tablets down. I'm thinking, shit. Anyway, he comes, the fella gets up, like I said, it's nothing to do with him, so they're about to de-arrest me now. Next minute, the copper says, you seem a bit hyperactive, you know, a bit, can I just give you a search? I thought, right, so I was in the riot van anyway, Bill, pushing them down here on my jeans. So he's gone like this, literally giving me the search round here. Next minute, I just fell and pulled the bag up, 41 ecstasy tablets. And now he turned around and he said, you're now under arrest for suspicion with intent to supply to sell Class A drugs. I thought, not again. And it's not just me who was doing it to. I'm doing it to my family as well, Bill, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm doing it to my family, like we all fully well know. I ended up going to Runcorn Police Station. They give me, it's not called bail no more, it's called under investigation. Deep
Space 9 Police Station.
Yeah, it's called under investigation, so I was under investigation for a bit. And I'll tell you one story, Bill, yeah? So, I've heard stories about Walton all my life, yeah? And I was explaining this to you yesterday, Bill. I've heard the big house is naughty and all that. And I've been to Oak Course and, you know, I was in Stokey for a young age and all that. I passed all that, you know what I mean? And I thought, right, I've heard this story about Walton. So anyway, my solicitor said to me, they said, in Warrington, there's half Cheshire Circuit, which will go to Chester Crown Court, and half Merseyside. So I've been under investigation. Anyway, I've gone back to they've pulled up some messages on my phone or whatever, Bill. So I've gone back to the police station. Obviously, they charged me there, given me a call. They said to my solicitor, whatever you do, please put me on that Cheshire Circuit. I want to go to Oak Course, whatever. I want an easy time. I don't want to go to the big house. You know, I've heard all these stories. So next minute, the clerks come up, the magistrates come in. Brocklehurst, can you stand up? We're going to give you a date now. So I've stood up. Liverpool Crown Court. I said to my solicitor, I said, am I going to go to Walton here? That's a local catchment area for Liverpool Crown Court. So I'm like this now, Bill, thinking, fucking hell, I've heard stories about this big cockroaches and all sorts, and it's just a big old mad place, you know what I mean? So I've ended up going to Liverpool Crown Court, and I remember, Bill, when I went downstairs, I said to the security staff, the G4S or Sergio or whatever they're called at the time, I said to them, I said, I'm from Chester, me. I said, is there any chance I can go to Oak Course? He says, I'll tell you one thing, he says, you're going on that bus to Walton. I thought, oh no, here it is, you know what I mean? I thought, oh, for fuck's sake, Bill, where's life took me?
It's a real jail, lad.
Yeah. I thought, where's life took me? What do I deserve, you know? I was in that sweat box and I was thinking...
You're going to get bums and everything.
I didn't think I was going to get bummed. I was thinking, I hope I don't bump into Billy Moore there. No, and I went on there, and you know what? All the lads were sound.
It's a good jail.
All the lads were sound. The induction wing, if I'm right, Bill.
A-wing.
Yeah, A-wing. I was on A-wing, and then I went over to... I was in there for a couple of days, and then COVID come in at the time. COVID come in at the time. So I went over to G-wing. Biggest wing in the jail, am I right or wrong? Yeah.
Oh, I think I-wing is, or G
I,
yeah, the jungle.
G-wing, it was crazy on there. Now, I'm seeing, this is how I can explain it, Bill, is like young groups of lads that when I used to go shopping in St John's, I used to see these kids, like 20 of them, you know, in town, and they're all North East, up Under Armour, on Cloud, whatever, you know what I mean, and whatever, and I'm thinking, I'm looking round anyway, I'm on the landing like this, Bill, and I'm looking round to myself and I'm thinking, it's not too bad, you know what I mean? No one's giving no shit, no one's been slashed, no one's doing nothing. Anyway, some kids downstairs, they end up having a fight, boom, everyone gets banged up. So I think, right, so I've gone now. It used to be, used to get the apps and used to write on the paper, but now you can go up to the machine. I don't know when you was last there, they had the machine. So you go on the machine, it's like a terminal. So I've gone on to, I can't like admissions or something. And I remember I put to them, I said, is there any chance of a ship out from here? You know what I mean? Is there any chance of a ship out of here? So next minute, they give me an option. They said we can give, obviously we can't tell you a date or anything like that for security reasons, but we can send you to Hindley. I nearly got to the end of the feet and I was like praying, thinking hopefully they're going to take me to Hindley in the next couple of days. Just get me out this big house, you know what I mean, Bill? And I'm not saying I'm a faggot or anything, you know. I'm not saying I was scared or anything, but deep down I was scared. Yeah. I was wary, Bill.
Look,
you know what I mean?
Just own it, lad. Right, yeah. Own it, because it is what it is. Right,
yeah.
You go to the place like that.
Yeah.
You can be the boy outside. You can be the man.
Yeah.
Right, you end up in jail, lad.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
You're in that cell.
Yeah.
You're on that landing. Your ass goes,
100%,
right,
Bill.
Because it's fight mode, fight or flight,
yeah.
And like you're really inside. You don't really want to be fighting because it becomes an everyday battle.
100%.
Right. So this is what I like to put out there for young lads who, we're on the streets and they're standing on corners and you think it's all good, and then, they're just jailbait and they go away.
Yeah.
Their asses will fall out of them
100%.
Because they'll see people getting slashed, people getting fucked
hot
up.
Water, everything, you know what I mean? I've seen it all, Bill. I've seen people getting chased. You've seen, obviously, you've done a lot more jail this year, but I've seen people get all sorts.
So, you're out and you've been out a little bit now, right?
I've been out
you kept your shit.
2021, kept myself low, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I said, my mum's not too well, Bill.
But you look after your mum. I've seen that,
Yeah,
mate. Your mum's in a care home.
Yeah.
But you just, you support your mother, right? And
you know what, Bill? My mum is my guidance in life. My dad is as well, my whole family are, but because I was with my mum my whole life, you know what I mean? I used to see my dad all the time. I'm not saying I never seen my dad, but because I was living with my mum.
Yeah.
And it wasn't under my dad's problem or anything, because my dad's absolutely a lovely smashing fella, you know what I mean?
But you're doing a lot better with your life now, aren't you?
100%, mate.
And just before we finish, right, because we've got to wind down now. So tell me, tell the audience, what would you say to someone out there who's contemplating going down that road of, drugs and crime?
I will tell you, just try and pull your shit together at the end of the day. Try and get in a local gym. Try and keep your head above water. You know what I mean, Bill? Yeah. I'm not saying everyone's perfect, because no one's perfect.
No, we're not.
No one's perfect, Bill. But I'd just give you a little message and just say, just keep your shit together at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And just be happy, because you can go to jail, you can come out, your bird won't be there. You know what I mean? Unless you're staunch. You might have to go to a different property. Imagine you're in a property and you go to jail and you come out and it's just causing all trouble, and you've got to go to another property and you've got to go through everything. So
nice one for that, Albie.
No problem, Bill.
Thanks for your time as well.
Thank you, Bill.